It's been a while since I've shared a video. It's not just the lack of motivation or struggling with whether my photos are any good, but life has a habit of getting in the way, putting plans for videos and photography on hold. A trip away was a perfect time to rekindle my photography as well as making some videos, especially given the destination. In Scotland, the towns are deep in rich history, the countryside beautiful and rugged, and the people some of the friendliest you will ever meet. Yes, the countryside does look like it's come straight from a movie. Around one corner is a beautiful river or loch. Around the next are rolling hills, and around the next is a stunning castle that has stood against time as well as many battles. There were many parts of Scotland that stood out for different reasons, but there was one I was looking forward to visiting for the photography opportunities: the Isle of Skye.
So we made it to the Isle of Skye. Got here yesterday, had a bit of a drive around. Amazing place. The hardest part about getting here is not stopping every 5 minutes to take a photo. It's absolutely stunning. This morning I've come out to Rha Waterfall. It's very windy, it's very wet, it's cold, but it's just amazing to be here. It's just absolutely stunning place. I'm not 100% sure about how to get to the waterfall. I believe there's a woodland walk, which is where I'm at right now, and as part of that walk there should be the waterfall, so hopefully I'll find something in a couple of minutes. That sounds like I'm getting pretty close now. I can actually hear the water, and I can see the water, but I can hear the waterfall. I was thinking about coming down here for sunrise, which might have meant leaving in the dark. I'm glad I didn't. The walk here is pretty precarious, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have fallen over at least once or twice. Okay, just made it to the waterfall. I managed to get down as far forward as I think I can get. It wasn't too treacherous after all. I've just opened my bag. I've got my camera out, got some filters out, and then realized that I forgot my tripod. Not a huge walk back to the car, but thinking given how quickly this water is flowing, I'm probably only going to have to handheld about half a second, which got the Canon R6, got the internal stabilization, got IBS. So I may actually get away with it. I'm going to give it a try anyway. I can always come back here tomorrow if I really need to, but I reckon I can get away with it. So I'm going to give it a try. Okay, apparently I can hold for a half a second. I've got the waterfall that's got some nice soft textures coming through, and what's made it really more amazing for me is the fact that part of the waterfall must be going over some peat or some dead wood, because the water's coming down and it's mostly white, but there's a bit in the middle that's just coming through. It's a bit of an orangey color, and it just looks amazing on the back of the camera. So I've been able to handhold to capture the waterfall itself, but I'm finding that I'm going to have to focus that, because I've got a lot of foreground as well, and some of it is quite close to the camera. So I have tried to come up with something. I found a rock and I've just put my camera bag on top of the rock, just angled it nicely so that it's pointing up towards the waterfall, and hopefully that's going to give me the ability to maybe take a longer exposure, but also have it in one location so that I can focus stack the foreground and some of the other areas around.
This is the composition I have set up, and given how close I am to the foreground, I am definitely going to have to focus stack some images. These are the settings I will be going with for this image. Just over half a second for the exposure, which should give me some nice texture in the water. I've set the ISO to 100 to minimize any noise and keep everything crisp in the image, and that leaves me with the aperture to adjust for the exposure. and f6.3 is giving me the right exposure level. I'm going to take an image in the foreground, then set the focal point to the middle of the waterfall and take another image for the midground. And then finally I will set the focus point to the back of the waterfall and take that image as well. I think I just need to take another image for the sky. It's a bit blown out at the moment, and while there's not much of the sky, I want to take another one with the right exposure. So that's all the shots I need. I'm going to put them together in Photoshop, and here's the image.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to get forwards any closer to the waterfall than where I am right now, but I am going to have a bit of a look around, see if there's another couple of shots that I can take, maybe from slightly different angles. Aside from that, I think I'm done. I've got the family waiting for me back where we're staying, so I'm going to head back and we're off to Fairy Falls, which is the part that I've really been looking forward to, getting down there and taking a photo of.
We arrived at the ferry pool to find that the wind had picked up and that the rain was starting to come down a bit heavier. This was not going to be a gentle meander through the country, but with the fog covering the tops of the Cullen Mountains, it all just seemed to work and added to the moodiness. The wind was getting so strong that the microphone was no longer picking up the sound of my voice, and when it rained it felt like every drop would leave a mark, but I loved it. I loved the feeling of being encompassed by the raw elements, making the place feel brutal but beautiful at the same time. For the most part, the path through the ferry pool rises up on a small incline, but it was just enough to hide the stunning scene around the next corner. I think I could have spent at least the whole day exploring the area, taking many photos, but none of them would have been able to capture the experience. However, I still needed to give it a try. So we've gone from the fairy pools to the fairy glen. Pretty much big mountain and still very cool to check out. Not quite as picturesque as the fairy pools, but still nice nonetheless. And as you can see, it's still wet, still windy. I think that's pretty much the standard for here. So I'm just going to have a look around and see if I can find any compositions to take. Okay, that's it for the fairy glen. Taking some photos.
very wet, it's cold, and it's pretty much the end of the day for today, I think. But we've only had one full day in the Isle of Skye, and it's been pretty amazing. If you ever get the opportunity, get out there and check it out. Here's some photos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there next time.